Hi guys, so welcome to part 2 of my April favourites. This is where I show you guys my random favourites, which mainly consists of my book favourites because I love reading and I know that a lot of you guys love reading also, so that's why I do have favourites each month of all the books that I've read that I've actually enjoyed. And then I'll also talk about a music favourite and some TV show favourites and some of my tech favourites. And yeah, so let's jump into that. So I'm going to start off with actually a random kind of tech favourite. This is actually my new phone cover. I only got it recently, but I feel like since I got it in April I should definitely show it because I think it's so cute. I know it seems ridiculous having like a teddy bear phone cover, but I don't know, I just fell in love with it and I think it's gorgeous. And it's really good for my handbag because it makes my phone a little bit bigger, which some people don't want a chunkier phone, but for me, I always lose my phone in my handbag, so having it look a little bit bigger and lighter is really easy, or makes it a lot easier to find. And I think it's just adorable. So I actually got this on eBay. There are a lot of sellers. If you look up, I don't know how to say this, it's like Rilakkuma? Yeah. If you look that up in like Rilakkuma bear case on eBay, then you'll find a lot of sellers selling this, and it wasn't that expensive, and it's really like sturdy. Like I feel like I could drop my phone and it would still be okay. So I don't know, I just really love it. I thought it was really cute. I don't have a particular new app favorite to show you guys this month, so I thought I would just show you guys my new phone cover instead. So then for music favourites, I have pretty much the same favourites that I liked last month. One new song that I would definitely add is Sitting on Top of the World by Goodrem. I love that song and I love that she's making new music again because I loved her for many years when I was younger, and I feel like it's really great that she's finally making some more new music again, and I'm just excited to be able to hear her on the radio. I really like her music. And then speaking of Goodrem, my TV show favourite of the month, again they kind of stay the same. I'm still loving all the shows that I love pretty much every month, but a new favourite is definitely The Voice. The Australian version of The Voice has recently started, and Goodrem is one of the judges. For those of you not in Australia, we also have Keith Urban, Joel Madden from Good Charlotte, and Seal are the 4 judges here in Australia, which is really exciting that I got some really decent judges, and so far I've been absolutely loving the show. I don't know whose team I'm on. I'm kind of split between Team Delta, Team Keith, and Team Joel. I kind of like all 3 of them, so I'm not sure who I'm voting for or rooting for at the moment, but I'll have to wait and see once the battle rounds start. So I was really excited that they brought this show out because I watched the first season of the American version of The Voice. They showed it on Channel 99 here in Australia, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm really excited and happy that they've got it in Australia and that it's really decent quality so far. I've been loving it, and I think it's been getting really good ratings and things like that. So hopefully it will last a while and it will be a really good show. So that is definitely one of my favourites. But I'm also excited that The Vampire Diaries has had a couple of new episodes, and I've been watching Heart of Dixie, and I'm about to catch up on Once Upon a Time because I fell behind on that a little bit, and Revenge. I've been loving Revenge and I'm so glad that that's back. Also, and New Girl, the most recent episodes of The New Girl, for those of you in the States, because I'm kind of ahead of Australia because I've been watching it online or through Apple TV. I absolutely love it. It just gets funnier and funnier, and the last few episodes I've absolutely loved, so that is definitely up there with one of my favourite shows also. And then moving on to tech favourites. I showed these on my vlog channel actually in a video recently, but I want to show you guys as well. It's actually my new camera. This is a Canon EOS 600D for those of you in Australia, or a T3i Rebel for those of you who are in the States, or a Kiss X5 for those of you in Japan and some other, I think, Asian countries. Mine's actually branded as the Kiss X5 because I got mine as part of a Groupon deal on eBay. But I absolutely love it. I've had so much fun playing around with it. I haven't had a chance to film on it yet. I definitely am hoping to do that at some point, but I need a bigger memory card. I haven't bought a new one for this particular camera yet, but when I do, then I'll definitely test filming on this to see if the quality's better and that you enjoy it more. But I really like this. And the other tech favourite is my new Apple MacBook. This is kind of something that I've been saving up for quite a while now, and there was recently a deal as part of back to school and uni students that you could actually get a free $100 gift card, and it was slightly cheaper, so I purchased this then because that was sort of the best time and I had pretty much all the money saved up. So this is just a 13-inch MacBook Pro, and I absolutely love it. I am definitely becoming more of a Mac girl. I use Mac to edit my videos. I use iMovie, so I finally made the full kind of switch to a Mac product as opposed to a PC, which I've always been a PC girl my whole life. So it's kind of interesting, but I definitely like that, and this is what I use now to edit all my videos on and things like that. So I'm really excited that I was finally able to purchase that. Okay, and then last but by no means least is my book favourites. I'm going to try and not ramble too much when I go on about these, but I have so many book favourites that I want to get through, so I'm going to jump into them straight away. The first book favourite that I have is the McCarthy of Gansett Island series by Marie Force. The first one is Made for Love, then Fool for Love, Falling for Love, Ready for Love, and Hoping for Love, and then the next one, Season for Love, I think it is coming out in June, which I'm really excited about. What I really enjoyed about these books was not only were they written well, they're kind of like an adult romance series, but you just sort of fell in love with all the characters before their books even came up. So the stories were so rich, and you got to hear little bits and pieces about the other characters. You could kind of see which couples would be coming up in the next books, and you really got to feel like you got to know their story before you even got to their story. And what was really nice was that even in the future books, you still got to hear from the couples that you'd heard about previously, and it wasn't just like random mentions. Like, you really got to hear about them, and their story actually progressed, and you actually got to hear from their voice in future books, which I really enjoyed, because it made you feel like their story didn't end when that book that they were in or their main book ended. You still get to hear about them further along, and they might get married or they might have a baby or whatever, and you still get to hear about them. So it's like you're just reading about the lives of these people in this particular town, and it's just really nice to hear. You fall in love with all the characters, and you basically can't wait for the next book. I read them all in order really quickly. Because I was reading them on my Kindle, I could just read one after the other, and I basically just downloaded one, finished it in a day, and read the next one because I loved them so much. So they were really well written, and I was kind of upset when I finished because I didn't have to wait for those first 5, and then I've had to wait for the next one, which I'm really excited about. So I was looking for something else to read next, and I knew that Marie Force had this other series called the Fatal series, and I thought, okay, I'm going to give this a go. So in this one, there's Fatal Affair, Fatal Justice, Fatal Consequence, Fatal Destiny, Fatal Flaw. I hope I've read them in the right order, but if I haven't, definitely just check them out in the right order, because it's they're really worth reading. These ones are a romance story, but with a bit of a, I guess, murder mystery kind of twist to them. And what makes these books really unique and different from a lot of the other books or a lot of the other adult romance series that I read is that they're on the same couple. So Sam, who is a lieutenant or a detective in the police force, and then her boyfriend, fiance, husband, Nick, who is becomes a US senator. So it is really interesting, this story. That's what gives it that murder mystery twist, but you fall in love with them. And what I loved was reading a little blurb from Marie Force on the Amazon website when talking about this particular series, and basically she said that she decided that she wanted to write this series about one couple because people said that you can't do it. They said that you just can't write a series with the same couple, that it's just not really done in this particular type of writing. And she kind of saw that as like waving a red flag in front of a bull, and decided, I'm going to do it. She doesn't like the word can't, so she wrote the first book and it didn't get picked up, and she thought, no, I'm going to still write the second book. And then it actually got picked up by a publisher, and now there's 4 books and then a novella, which was in the 3rd and the 4th book to sort of tie them together. So like 5 books in this series, and there'll be more, and I absolutely love them. And I kind of wish that more authors would do this, because I really loved, oftentimes when books end, you don't want to stop hearing about their couple, you want to hear the rest of their story. So this was like one of these chances where you get to keep on hearing about the couple. So I really liked this series, and I'm looking forward to the other ones, and I wish more authors would probably do things this way. So I really enjoyed those. So I read like 10 books from Marie Force this month, which shows how great a writer she is, and I'm looking forward to reading more books from her. I got these all from the Kindle website on Amazon, so they were all really inexpensive, only around $2.99, so really great value for such fantastic books. And then I have a few young adult book recommendations for you. One of them is Predestined by Abby Glines. This is the second book in the series. The first one was Existence. I absolutely loved it. I feel like I pretty much mentioned Abby Glines in every second favorites video. I've mentioned all her books. I love all her books. I recommend reading Existence. This is a I guess paranormal series, but then she also has Breathe and Because of Low, which are just like more just romance young adult series. I really have enjoyed all the books. Also the Vincent boys, I'm looking forward to the Vincent brothers, and I just love her story, so I definitely recommend checking her out. Another set of young adult books that I really liked is the Slammed series by Colleen Hoover. So there's the first book, Slammed, and then there's the second book, Point of Retreat, and I just fell in love with this story. You will laugh, you will cry, I don't know, it's so well written. I love the poetry in it, I love the storyline, I love the twists and turns. You get so involved in the characters that I almost don't see the different twists coming, and certain storylines that play out in this book aren't necessarily new or different, like you may have seen them in a TV show or a book before, but the way that they're written and the way that they all intertwine, it's really interesting. You kind of don't see them coming. It's really a sweet story. It's again, the couple that are in it, the main characters are sort of older, so late teens, early 20s, but then there's nothing sort of really explicit in the book, so you could read it if you're younger, and I'm 23 and I absolutely loved it, so I definitely think you could read it when you're older as well. But just some of the things that are in this story, it's amazingly well written. I absolutely loved it. I highly recommend it to anyone. And from what I was reading about it, I think it was she wrote the books really quickly, and I just think that they were really fantastic, especially if they were written really quickly, because they just were well thought out and came together really well. So I highly recommend those books. Another book that I recommend is What a Boy Wants by, I think it's Naire Dawn. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I found this book through Stephanie Campbell. She was tweeting it on Twitter. Stephanie Campbell is an author who I've mentioned previously. She wrote the book Grounding Quinn, which I really enjoyed, and again mentioned it in a previous favourites video. She tweeted about this book saying that she was reading it and was enjoying it, so I looked it up, read the premise of the book, and really liked it. What is different about this book is that it's written from the point of view of like a teenage guy, and not often do you get into the head of a teenage guy. I still don't think I could understand them. Hats off to Naire Dawn, because she seems to really get it and writes it really well. For a girl, I think that's amazing. So it's a really interesting story. And the next book in the series, What a Boy Needs, is coming out hopefully soon. She keeps on tweeting quotes from it as she's writing it, and I'm really excited to read that book also. The last couple of books that I wanted to mention, one of them is Going Under by Georgia Cates. I really liked this story. I loved Jessie and Claire. I loved, I guess, the premise of the story. I think it was really well written. I fell in love with the characters. And the only thing I could complain about is I felt like it ended too soon. I just wanted more of the story, so I really enjoyed that book. One other young adult book that I forgot to mention was Chasing McCree by JC Isabella. I've mentioned her before. I read her book, The Unofficial Zach Warren Fan Club, and I really enjoyed that. This book is a new book from her, and I really enjoyed it. Again, it was just like a cute young adult read set around teenagers, so it's kind of like older teen, I guess, age group. I really liked Chase, the main guy character. I really think that every girl should have a cowboy just like him, and yeah, it was just a really sweet story that was something again that you could read really quickly, but you'll really enjoy it and finish the book with a smile on your face. And the other book that I want to mention was Fragile by M. Layton. I haven't read any books from this author before, but I think they usually are paranormal. This one wasn't. This one was just like a young adult story. It was sort of heartbreaking but heartwarming at the same time. I really fell in love with the story. It was like something that I read really quickly. I read it in like a couple of sittings, and I just recommend it if you're just looking for a nice sort of young adult read with something a little bit different. Like I said, you might have a little bit of a cry, but you'll also have a little bit of a laugh as well. So I really enjoyed that book, and that is, I think, it for all my book recommendations for this month and for my random April favourites for this month. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope you guys stuck around to the end. If you did, thank you guys so much. I will put a link to my beauty favourites video for this month here if you guys would like to check that out. That shows all my beauty and hair and fashion favourites for the month of April. And other than that, I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Let me know in the comments below if you have any book favourites or song favourites or TV show favourites that you think I should check out. And other than that, I'm going to go. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!